Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our H.O.O.D Recovery Services. Today is July the 15th, and I'm going to do your July 15th in a Just for Today meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that screen. If you need to reach me, reach out to me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Today's title of the meditation is Relations with Others, page 205. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Step 8. All human beings struggle with self-centeredness. The chronic self-centeredness that lies at the very core of addiction makes that struggle doubly difficult for people like us. Many of us have lived as if we believed we were the last people on earth, utterly blind to the effect our behavior has had on those around us. The 8th step is the process our program has given us to honestly examine our past relationships. We take a look at the writing we did on our 4th step to identify the effects our actions had on the people in our lives. When we recognize harm done to some of those people, we become willing to take responsibility for our actions by making amends to them. The variety of people we encounter in our day and the quality of our relations with them determines, to a great extent, the quality of our very lives. Love, humor, excitement, carrying the things that make life worth living derive much of their meaning from being shared with others. So let me reread that sentence for you. Love, humor, excitement, caring, the things that make life worth living derive much of their meaning from being shared with others. You know, the importance of a hyphen having a space is very, very, very important. Let me continue. Understanding this, we want to discover the true nature of our relationships with other people and mend whatever breaks we may find in those relations. We want to work the 8th step. Just for today, I want to fully enjoy the companionship of my fellows. I will examine my relationships with the people in my life. Where I find I've harmed others, I will seek the willingness to make amends to them. You know, I think that this Just for Today in a meditation it's very fundamental to the 8th step, because when we're talking about becoming willing to make amends to others and making a list of all the people that we've harmed, we need to remember that generally speaking, they would not be on our list. There are some people we harm that we don't know. We are thieves, liars, cheaters. There's probably indirectly quite a few people that have been hurt that we don't know. But I'm talking about the ones that we called ourselves having a relationship with. And a relationship, I'm not talking about a sexual, intimate relationship in that sense, but we have other intimate relationships with people. We have them with our parents, we have them with our siblings, we have them with some of our co-workers. There are several other people that we claim to care about, and we ended up doing harm to them. And so when we go to make this list, it's really important for us to remember that a lot of the work that we need to do to be rid of the guilt and the shame is wrapped up in this particular step as well as step 9. Because a lot of the things that you will find eat at you at night have to deal with the guilt and shame that you carry for how you treated people that you said you cared about. The things you said you do and you didn't do because you were too high. The things that you didn't do that you wanted to do because you were too high. Or chasing the next one. So let's not pull the wool over our eyes and pretend that we don't have work to do. I don't know anyone. I don't know a single person who has in recovery that does not owe some amends to someone. And I'm talking about the stuff that we did before we got into recovery. God knows there's probably stuff that we did to people in recovery as well, right? But hopefully our step 10 is going to help us with making those prompt amends. But if you're not at that stage, then that's probably not even a consideration for you. And the reason why I say that is because it's hard to make prompt amends to individuals when you don't really have an understanding of even your character defects and how you fall short in regards to them and what they make you do, right? So how in the world would you ever be able to take responsibility for those things that you follow up on a day-to-day basis with people? When you're still operating in self-centeredness, you're still operating out of your ego. And so it's very important that we take our recovery a bit more seriously. Now, we have fun and we enjoy ourselves. We most certainly do. We most certainly do. And a lot of times you can offend people and they will never tell you that you offended them. That's why it's always good. Did I say something wrong? I feel like I said something wrong. So I'm just asking because if I did and what I said to you bothered you, I want to know why it bothered you. But most importantly, I want you to know that I care about you. I would never intentionally just say something to hurt you. But you're acting like I've hurt you. So could you just do me a favor and let me know? Because I don't want to wrestle with this all day. I want to know if I've offended you. If so, what have I done? That takes a very, very mature individual to say that. A lot of times you'll have an inclination of what it is already, but sometimes you won't. Sometimes you will not. And if that's genuine, then you can genuinely ask, you seem like I've hurt your feelings. What did I do? But if you know what you did, then go ahead and just make amends for that. Apologize for that. Or maybe explain, because a lot of times, if, like I said, if you haven't done the work, you don't know like the true nature of what you actually did. You might have told them a lie, but you might not understand that the reason why you told the lie and try to manipulate them into something, right, was because of your fear, your character defect of fear, right? You might not understand that if you have not done the work that you need to do. And a lot of times we say that should be common sense, but it's not. You got to remember who we were. You got to remember what we used to do out there. And then we come into becoming productive members of society and encountering other people who are trying to recover a day at a time, just as we are. You know, and so I want you to think about that, we want to enjoy our fellowship, our companionship with other people, but it comes with a responsibility. It comes with the responsibility of not going into life on a day-to-day basis, interacting with people as if we're the only person that matters. You know, sometimes I get cut off on the road and I'm just driving along. I'm not really trying to go fast. I try to take my time because I try to pay attention to what other drivers are doing as well as myself. And when I'm driving sometimes and I'm going to go make, you know, a turn, or I need to get in a lane and somebody is zip up, or I'm trying to turn onto a street to go home and someone way down the road all of a sudden starts to speed up. Now you're over a football length away from me, but all of a sudden you want to go from doing 35, and mind you, where I live, the police and fire station are right there. So if you speed, you're going to be noticed, right? But whatever is going on with that person, they do not want to slow down allow anyone to pull over a cross in front of them to turn on their street. And so they speed up, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, really? Because technically, if you hit me at that rate of speed, you're going to get a very bad ticket, and you will also probably do a lot of harm to yourself, you know? And so I think to myself, I guess you're that important. Yeah, you're the most important person today. A lot of people drive with that in mind, right? They don't consider other people. There's a lot of self-centeredness in the world today, and our job as becoming productive members of society is to operate with a different mindset. Being important and knowing that we're important, that's one thing. But we need to operate with a different mindset and be the difference in the world that we see. So I hope you're encouraged today. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.